Amazon is known for its super quick and simple product return policy that customers really love about. And in Starbucks, baristas can always write the names at the cup and call out their names gently to serve the order. Another example that's very close to us is Haidilao hot pot restaurant. We can even get our nails done when getting to get a table. So all big businesses put customers' wants and needs at the heart of everything they do. And wanting to know how to strive for excellent customer service, let's hear what our team have to offer today. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tang, and together with my colleagues, Uyên, Ngọc, and Katz, we proudly represent RMIT University from Vietnam. Today, we are here to present to your company, Porsche, two key business strategies. Integrate to improve internal communication between stakeholders and stimulate to ensure the best service and recovery ever that your company provides to the customers. So without further ado, let's start with the business snapshot. So your company, Porsche, a big player in the automobile manufacturing industry, is following electrical vehicles adoption trends, and launched Taken as a flagship for your Mission E initiative. What's more, one of the largest markets your company is serving is China. And in here, your business priority is to always put customers first. And in practice, you also run a customer surveys within 30 days after the completion of service to ask about the customer satisfaction. So in here, we conclude that your company is experiencing business growth with key focus on customer centricity. However, recently, a customer named Paul has been experiencing service failure as recorded in his post-sale customer survey, all due to several times of specifications, receiving cars with missing components, back and forth negotiation, and the dissatisfaction of compensation he received. So this totally goes against your company's value of customer centricity. So the key question we want to ask here is that how you can fix and enhance the customer service to live up to the customer centricity promise. And in order to answer this, we need to first ask what is wrong with the current system. And we'll do this by conducting a CDC metrics analysis that contains three important stakeholders: company to dealers and dealers to customers. Now my colleague Ngọc will continue analyzing deeper on those.
Thank you, Tan, for your snapshots. Now, under the established CDC matrix analysis, I first talk about the relationship between your company and the dealers. First, we observed that there was a misalliance on the horizontal management system, particularly the operational communications, where all the production information is related and updated within the production department. They provide no proactive update for the dealers. The dealer jobs then become ineffective as it's relying on the speed of response from your production department. Second, there was a low integration witness on the vertical system on handling the customer services. From the lower level, the authorized dealers previous slide, please. From the lower level, authorized dealer as customer to sign the feedback form first. The previous slide, please. First, and fill out themselves. Others may experience difficulty, like a case like Paul, but in overall, the customer relation department could be unaware of the situations because having no established procedure for the provisions of the update. Accordingly, Ms. Ellen Cho, you would be unable to take rapid actions with the monthly report that mostly cost you the customer dissatisfactions like Paul. So altogether, we conclude that there is a lack of information synchronizations in handling the company and the dealer relationship. So second, talking about your customer service with dealer as your representative in the process of pre and during order with customer, with a lack of standardization in communications for the dealer to handle the customer services. So one, no defined guidelines make dealer unable to make customized suggestions for different customers. Two, freedom of communication channel use lead to mismatch in information for adjusting or confirming the customer order. And three, as a formation information, lack of effective operational communications make dealer provide infrequent and inactive production update for the customer, overall creating customer dissatisfaction. And afterward, the service recovery procedure is also ineffective. Within our research, there are 5 stages of procedures, and the dealer have been ineffective in the first 3 stages, which make dissatisfied customer like Paul to express their needs were not met and it was unreasonable, neither fair or sincere. So Arna, poor dealership management is detached when handling customer services. So right now, we understand your mission is to enhance the system to match with your customer-centric philosophy. Yet, lack of information synchronizations and poor dealership management remain your biggest challenge. Therefore, we proudly introduce our integrated and stabilized solutions to help you encounter these challenges. Now, our first recommendation will be introduced by my colleague Ying.
Thank you, Ngọc, for the detailed analysis. Now let's look at our first integrate strategy, which we aim to achieve the objective of strengthening your company's integration of the operational system to improve the transparency and communication among relevant stakeholders. So with that direction in mind, our team has developed 2 main initiatives for this strategy. First is to resolve the issues of lacking the constant informational flows between the dealers and your company. We implement an integrated information sharing system. And second, to strengthen the working process of your company's customer service function, we design a more comprehensive customer satisfaction assessment system and a new working protocol for the customer relations function. And without further ado, let's dive into the first pillar of our integrate strategy. So what we are introducing today is the dealer management system, an integrated information sharing and management between your company and the authorized dealers. So how does this actually work? This system works on a cloud-based platform where information from the dealers and the company is constantly updated in a real-time basis. This information could include the production status, the current state of production, delivery time and delivery journey, and any backlog or delays in the production team. And in order to facilitate this, each order will have an encrypted code, and each sales representative from the dealer will have his own account on an app-based channel called Poster Tracking to be informed about those information mentioned above about the production and delivery status of each of his customer order. And at this stage, you may wonder, how can the information from the company production and assembly line be updated on the dealer's management system in real time? To answer your concerns, we further develop into an ecosystem for dealership management with an integration of the dealer management system with your company inventory management system and production monitoring management system. Firstly, with the inventory management system, your company can track the dealer's sales and inventory for the better demand forecast and production planning. Meanwhile, the dealers can have better visibility of your company's inventory status to better understand about the bottlenecks in the warehouse and production. Secondly, with the production monitoring system, the sales representative can receive the updates about which stage of production the car is in and any possible delay or breakdown during the production. So you may wondering, one critical question is why the integration and information sharing like this is important. Let's look back at the lesson learned from the case of Paul. Paul's car initially arrived with the missing parts, and the sales representative David was not well informed of that issue beforehand. This has caused dissatisfaction from the customers. So with the new ecosystem, the dealer can be informed about issue and the dealer can update with the customer in a timely manner to avoid failed expectation and disappointment. So now with the relationship and communication between the dealers and your company being strengthened, how can you further improve your customer service with more collaboration in the customer relation function? Let's move to our second initiative of the integrate strategy. Firstly, look at the current situation. Your company only conduct customer satisfaction assessment at the end of the sales journey and at the post-sales stage only. However, we want to further strengthen this customer satisfaction assessment system with evaluation of service throughout the sales and the customer journey, and include more assessment tools like short polls and surveys at every touch point, like the website, showrooms, sales center, and also charging station to collect customer feedback on different aspects of the service, from the ease of using a company website to research about products, the assistance of dealers during the contract, and to actual driving experience and supporting infrastructure. Next, the customer will only be served carefully if we have a strong customer relation team. Now there is a power distance as well as infrequent updates between the head of customer relations, team members, and sales representative in charge. Your company can emphasize more frequent catch-up meetings, cater to different sales areas with key focus on customer satisfaction and related issues. Both regional business head and regional customer relation leads should be aware and in charge of these matters. Now I will pass my time to my colleague Kat what our second strategy is Stimulate.
Thank you, Ying, for your first strategy. Now moving on to Stimulate. We would like to advise your company on how to enhance the dealer management for better customer experience by solving this issue you currently face in the dealer-customer relationship, as my colleague Dom has analyzed prior, which includes the first, the lack of standardization in communication, and second, the ineffective service recovery procedures. Let's first look at the lack of standardization in communication. There are three things that will be taken into account. First, to provide customers with clear and consistent information updates through the activity logs on specification and also contract changes. Second, to provide coherent direct communication channels instead of non-recorded and unauthorized WhatsApp conversation. And third, to provide customer with a demand fit solution with customization suggestions so that they can be sure about the choice of subcomponents needed according to their personal demand. With the first two objectives, we would like to recommend first, a system of enhanced customer activity access by creating a feature on the company website where customer log in with the encrypted code to gain access to Porsche tracking log developed by my colleague Wing earlier. This log will function similarly to the order tracker of Taobao or Amazon, allowing customers to have direct access to information and gain full control over it instead of relying on calling up the dealer. In case of faults, there could be a clear comparison between what the dealer promises and what actually was dated on the system, including who is responsible for the mishaps. Second, instead of having dealers using separate WhatsApp numbers, we recommend your company to sign up for WhatsApp's API, a cloud system that integrates multiple users and stakeholders together. This will maintain professional profiles for dealers and enhance company's image. Besides, the headquarters can better manage the conversations through Facebook business management accounts that links dealers' number to one platform. Besides, in case of mishaps, customer can rate the phone number quality. This allows the company to flag the interaction and take action faster. After implementing the two pillars, let's move to the third objective, creating demand fit, in which we have developed the 6 sense system, where your company, next slide please, can leverage on big data and technological advancement to better serve the customer-centric vision. The way it works is first, customers can let the company access the travel map via API apps or timeline history to identify the usual routes. Second, your company can look at those routes and specify location nature, whether it is bumpy or the area floods every once in a while, etc. Third, this information will be inserted into smart suggestion systems that utilize AI and machine learning to determine which subcomponents are utilized for the most suitable customer behaviors. And finally, customer can try out suggested components in the showroom using alternative cars like one in the case or AR and haptic suits with hypersensory experience. However, to implement AI and machine learning, your company must collect a very diverse pool of data through community engagement. We found that the global community of 140,000 Porsche Club members across 86 countries to be ideal to leverage on. Your company can develop a UX design partnership with these exclusive members where they can suggest and propose ideas that are solely customer-centric. Or you can get customer response via surveys and embedded technologies inside their car. Besides, market research can be conducted by the internal teams or outsourced to locals. By doing so, Porsche can enhance co-creation throughout the design process, creating a positive feedback loop where car and subcomponent design can be well adapted to the changing international landscape. Now that we have solved this first big issue, let's move on to the second part of the Stimulate strategy, which is ineffective service recovery procedures. There are two objectives in this stage, which we have been analyzed by my colleague now. First, throughout the first stage of service, the 5 stages of service recovery, the dealer have misaligned with 3 of them, creating ineffective response. Second, in cases of mishaps, the inability to escalate the issue to supervisors or managers create dissatisfaction in customers. With these objectives in mind, we would like to recommend your company to, next slide please, first, develop a 2-layer support system, where in cases of mishaps, dealer will go through a service recovery quiz that is drafted by psychologists to maintain standardization in the process. This quiz will contain questions so that dealer will keep in mind customer needs and emotion, such as what happened to make them upset, etc. Moving on to the company customer responsibility. While dealer fill out a quiz with the customer, the information will be recorded onto the Porsche tracking log, where supervisors and managers can keep track of customer satisfaction. Incremental follow-ups to make sure information is honest, and if the customers are not satisfied with the dealer's offer, the headquarters can make adjustment as needed. This aims to create increase in customer bargaining power when mishaps occur. Besides, we identify that sufficient training for dealers must be consistent, provided by Porsche to maintain the high quality service. Therefore, we would like to recommend your company a pop-up P2P training program, where in a 1-week duration, local Porsche representatives will go directly to the field and work side by side with dealer representatives. Not only will this enhance the first-hand field knowledge of Porsche, but also create skill transferring and encourage consistent enforcement of good customer service due to the surprise element of it. After implementing these pillars, next slide please, your company will not only gain standardization in communication, but also effective service recovery procedures, so that when cases like that of Paul happen, next slide please, not only will the customers receive top-notch and consistent service, but also personalized care from Porsche company. Besides, since 6th Sense system needs a beta testing before launch, past dissatisfied customer like Paul can be invited to the event and asked to make personal remarks, turning them into Porsche advocates. Now my colleague Ngọc will continue.
Thank you, Ying and Tường, for introducing our recommendations. As your consultant, we understand our responsibility to ensure that our recommendations are financially healthy. With our initiative, we have confidence in the 12.77 compound annual growth rate in the next 3 years for Taken line. Growing revenue will come along with sustainable gross profit margins of 19.1%, and the projection will comprise the revenue and cost assumptions as follows. First, we believe that growth rate of demand will decline over the next year, yet remain robust around 13.29% annually from 2024, thanks to Taken model special customizations and better customer service from our recommendations. The revenue will comprise of 10% from value-added service, but will 90% driven by the car sale, estimate more than $276,000 per car. Second, annual cost structure will include 50% of production costs, 30% for maintaining the technology from our initiative, 10% for HR wage that focus more on better customer service, and last 10% will be H&A, mainly focusing on marketing expense. With the positive projections, the required initial upfront investment of $800,000 become minor by implementing the required system as shown for the integrate and stimulate solutions. And next, my colleague Tan will complete the evaluation stage and making the closing remark.
So every business proposal could contain certain kind of risk, but we also have a mitigation plan for it. The first risk of data security in our newly developed customer service function can mitigate by having policy contracting as well as strengthening security system. And for the 6th Sense systems in stimulate strategy, can hire third parties, technical team to handle the risk of technical failure. And lastly, for the risk of severity in the adoption of different dealers regarding the new policy, your company can offer an aligned regulations for all areas to follow and have regular check-ins to the operations. So next, here's the overall implementation timeline of the integrate strategy. We will try to, for the first pillar, we will try to have pilot testing and launch the system before 2024. And for the second one, we will develop these assessment system and align with the people related continuously till the end of 2024. And for the stimulate strategy, we see the urgency of having to deal with the customer service failure case in Hong Kong. We will prioritize the second pillar of developing the customer service guideline applied to dealers and continue with the first pillar of building and developing the 6th Sense system. So in recap, our strategy have been making your company able to build a system enhancing the transparent communication between manufacturing sites with the sales dealers, but also taking care of the communication with your own customer stimulus strategy? All communications to consumers have been standardized with new function added to give them wonderful product experiences, and service recovery is well taken into account as well. Here we tackle both vertical and horizontal communication during and after sales customer service. So we want to tackle at the comprehensive problems of all the things that your company is going through. And we also expect that your company can have 12% compound annual growth rate and 90% profit margin, and will be known as one of the most extraordinary firm in the automobile industry for customer service. That's the end of the presentation. Thanks for listening.
Hi, excuse me, you are muted. Yes, I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you for reminding me I'm still muted. It's now time for the Q&A session. Please, judges, please make your questions short and concise, and leave your thoughts and comments for the feedback session. Okay, the 15-minute countdown starts now. Let's hear the first question.
Thank you, Mimi. If I may, then Prakash. Sorry, Prashant, can I go first?
Yeah, sure, please go ahead.
Thank you. Can you move forward to the implementation plan schedule? The implementation, I think like a 2 slide forward. Yeah. Is it practical? Do you think that this timeline is realistic in the sense that like you invite vendors and then you know, all these kind of bidding process and having someone to be able to deliver what you want from the like improving the or integration of the information system between the company and the dealers? Because I see that it's a big project.
Yes, thank you for your question. So regarding the Stimulate projects, the biggest one would be the Sixth Sense system. So and besides the quizzes too. So in the Sixth Sense system, there's a machine learning and also AI system. So currently, actually, Porsche is implementing AI and machine learning inside the design of their car already. So the transferring of technology from the car design, manufacturing, production function to the customer service is very applicable and feasible. I hope that answers your question.
And hi, I want to add into those ideas regarding the iterate strategy and the timeline. So, but currently the company already has its own warehouse management, also inventory and production monitoring system, and the dealership management system. Actually, the vendors have already developed a cloud-based platform for that. So, integrating this system with the company system, giving the current urgency of enhancing the operational system and also the communication across the stakeholders. I believe our team believe that the timeline is realistic and also show the urgency for the company to implement these kinds of software and system to enhance its operations.
Okay, thank you. I have another question before passing to Prashant. The other one about the cost. Can you go to the cost, the financial analysis slide? Yeah. So the cost of further investment, is it taken from the margin, or is it taken, or is it funded by the future growth of sales growth? Where that would come from the assumption exercise here.
Yes, thank you for your questions. And I understand your concerns about the required cost. So currently, as I observe from the company financial statement, the company already have a positive profit estimate at $billions. So in this way, billions or $1 million, or in this way, the upfront investment of our projection is very minor for them. And they can extract a part of the profit margins, the profit that they have from 2021 and implement for further growth in the future.
Okay, thank you. No more question from me.
I have a couple of questions, right? So one, at the start of the presentation, right, you gave example of Amazon, Hotpot, and then during the presentation, you also referred to Taobao, right? Now, my fundamental question is, all the examples you have given are consumables and very low value ticket items, whereas you're comparing to a luxury brand which goes into millions. How do you think taking a standardization of a daily consumable market can work with a luxury brand?
Thank you for your question. So regarding the strategy of lacking standardization in communication, what we are trying to enhance is the mishaps within the communication, such as the interaction between customer and dealer within the WhatsApp ad. So right now, we understand that with the high-end customer service, the need of personalized interaction and face-to-face is very important. So in order to redirect our focus of customer service into those areas, we would like to have the updates and communication channel being standardized so that all the information could be updated constantly without the need of the customers keep rechecking and rechecking. And have the dealers focus more on improving their service to the customers and also provide the best alternatives in their behalves. I hope that answers your question.
And I also would like to add on my colleagues' opinions. So I understand that you're having concerns of comparing the luxury brands like Porsche with normal brands like Taobao or Amazon. But I believe that is the basic need that customer needs some certain kind of customer-centric philosophy from the company, and those normal brands are doing good. So that's why the companies, as luxury brand like Porsche, is left behind. So our recommendation is providing the foundation for standardization to serve that basic need of customer-centric services. And further on, when the order process are already standardized, the dealer themselves can be provided more intimate and in-person customers services for the customer that tailor for that only specific customer when doing deals with our company. And in that way, the customer will have better customer service and better car that they already dream of. And I hope that answered your questions.
Okay, thanks for the answers, right? So I just have a different question as well, right? During the presentation, you never emphasized around the delivery, right? Porsche typically takes 3 to 6 months for delivery, whereas in this case, it has taken 8 to 9 months. You have never dealt with a strategy to deal with that, which was one of the issues. Paul was happy, but that was one of the underlying issues as well, right?
Thank you for your question. And we deeply understand the concerns about delivery lead time and also however, we also understand the current status of the company production and also the sales center that are really based because the manufacturing of Porsche is usually based on US and even Europe. So the delivery can be even affected by external environments. And given the current status of the company, the delivery time is, we believe that they are doing their best to having the shortest delivery time to the customer. And with our strategy, we are not targeting at decreasing the lead time because it will increase the investment for the company, even invest in transportation. But what we are trying to do is to have a regular updates about the delivery schedule so that the customer can have a clear expectation of when their cars will arrive and in what condition their cars will arrive, so that they have a clear expectation and having like a good communication with the dealers to resolve any issues that may happen, and that also help.
Sorry,
Yeah.
just follow up. Do you think in this case there was a lack of communication between David and Paul?
I think thank you for your questions, and I believe that David has tried his best to communicate the production time with Paul. But what we deprive is that David does not have the information from the production department, and in that way, we recommend to have a more efficient database to update the production themselves to the system, and then the system will alert David about the new changes in components or the deliveries time, so that he can effectively communicate with our customer as Paul.
Can I add on to okay, so we see this customers relations kind of things as a comprehensive and a full trained kind of process. So we have split it as the dealers to customers, and then from the company to the dealers. So whenever the problems happens anywhere during this train, we also have implementation plans for it. So we would tackle the whole process. Yeah.
Yeah, I have just two small questions to follow up. Do you think it was possibly an issue of David only, rather than the full company?
Thank you for your question. So in our opinion, it is the responsibility of both the company and also the dealer. So while the dealer is themselves having a responsibility in managing the communication between them, the personalized communication between them and the customers, our job as a company is to provide the best condition for dealers to effectively doing so. So besides enhancing the communication channels such as the tracking log, where not only does the customer be able to access the tracking log and cross-checking with the dealers themselves, giving the customer the control when the dealers is making a mishaps. We also have the updates on the responsibility where which cases we can identify which cases is the company's responsibility and which cases is the dealer in the implementation system. Besides, our company understand that the constant needs of updating the quality of the dealer is very important and in the responsibility of the company. Therefore, we develop a HR system of popped up 1 week strategy of P2P training so that we can give them the best condition for their thriving. I hope that addressed your question.
Thanks. Just on the P2P training, one of your slides said P2P training at random, whereas what you're saying is not random, right?
Yes, so P2P training at random, meaning the pop-up session. So we understand that in cases of very standardized, this is where standardization does not come into place because the nature of the surprise is very important in HR checking. So if the car dealer knows that where the date where the company will come and check, they can manipulate the data of these training sessions. So instead of doing so, we understand that human behaviors is very important. Therefore, checking them at random will create a surprise effect, and so that we can effectively train the dealers based on their honest behaviors. I hope that addressed your question.
Okay, no more questions from my side. Thank you.
Do we still have time for more questions?
Yes,
Mimi?
we do.
Yeah.
We do have time for 1 or 2 questions.
Okay. So I think that there has been a lot of initiative here, but just a question on the incentive scheme for dealers to improve the customer service. Is that something you think of, or you would include in this solution in order to improve the front end customer service?
Yes, thank you for your questions. And we are now having the dealer management system where we can integrate and quantify the performance of the dealers, and in that way we can now offering more incentive for dealer when they having surpassing target commission certain target KPI. So in that way we can offer more the incentive for dealer, and we also treat dealer as our customer, because dealers is signed a contract business partner with our company. So using the dealer management system, we can offer more benefit than dealer than ever by having easier job to do, to handle, and more information to complete their job, fulfilling their job better, and allow them to make more deals and make more commissions on themselves.
I believe to add on to my colleague's answer. So besides the needs of monetary benefits, there's also non-monetary motives when doing work. So through our HR training system, not only would the dealer be able to communicate directly with Porsche, working with the professional and having better skill sets to improve their work in the future, and not only within that job, but also in the future job also. We believe that non-monetary and also monetary benefits, incentives is on our mind when doing these implementation plan. I hope that answers your question.
So how would you do that? I mean, like a scoring system, or what kind of plan that you would have in order to having that in place?
I would like to add to my colleague's answer and answer your question as well. So, in HR, learning and development is an important sub-function. So with that, we have our own strategy to have learning and development frequently for the company to enforce the dealers, the trainings needed for customer service. So by that, they would leverage that on their long-term impact, because only they have the enough skills for customer service, will more customers come to them, and will they leverage these to better off in the long term. Yeah. So that's hope that's answered.
Okay, thank you all. Now the judges will stay in the room to deliberate. Dear team, we will place you in the waiting room and bring you back in for the feedback session in a few minutes. Everyone else, please kindly leave the room, and we will see you later for the results announcement. Thank you.